And welcome everyone to South Huron Council meeting, December 15th, 2025. And we welcome those members of the public that are joining this evening in the gallery and those that are joining us from home. All members of council are here and Councillor Vaughn is at home zooming in, which is great. Good to have you here. And we thank all our staff for being here this evening to provide us the best information that we can make the best decisions on behalf of the residents of South Huron. I will ask everyone to now please rise for Roll Canada. And again, welcome everyone to the South Huron Council meeting. We'll ask everyone please ensure their phones are turned off or on mute, with the exception of our volunteer firefighters who are allowed to keep their phones on. And we'll begin our meeting with our land acknowledgement. As we gather, we're reminded that the municipality of South Huron is situated on Treaty 29 land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. And as a community, we have a responsibility to honor and respect this territory's significance for the Indigenous peoples who lived continue to live upon it and whose practices and spiritualities were tied to the land and continue to develop in relationship to the territory and its other inhabitants today. In the spirit of reconciliation and truth, we acknowledge the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples on whose traditional territory that we are meeting on. Thank you for that. We'll move on to item number 2, Ms. Masoul Carlson.
That South Huron Council approves the agenda as presented.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Dietrich, second by Councillor Oak. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 6-7. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. Are there any disclosures at this time? Not seeing any. Okay. Move on to the next item. Presentation. We'll go to our delegations and we welcome our friend Stephanie Vandenbush. Come on down, Stephanie, to talk to us about preventive health awareness. And you have about 10 minutes, Stephanie, but just take your time. We'll have questions and answers afterwards.
Hello, everyone. So I just thought before my formal request this evening, I would like to briefly ground us in what preventative health is and why this conversation matters. Preventative health is about supporting people before they reach crisis. It includes physical, mental, emotional, and community well-being. At its core, prevention is universal. It serves every resident and every household. I also want to acknowledge the discussion at last council meeting around bringing information together from Exeter Hospital, Goderich Hospital, Grand Bend Medical Center, and Hensel. That conversation reflects a shared understanding that health does not begin at the hospital door. It begins in our homes, workplaces, and our community. I've included a short Q&A document with my materials to help answer common questions and set minds at ease. 2 points I want to highlight briefly. This initiative is not political. Prevention is universal. And this request is not about business. It comes from my experience and my commitment to caring for the people of this community. I'm also excited to share that on February 9th, I will be holding a Preventative Health Awareness Month flag raising, and I sincerely hope to see you all there. Following the ceremony, there will be an opportunity to gather and connect at Community Living just down the street. Finally, I want to share why I'm here. I've dedicated over 21 years to preventative and integrative care with a strong focus on rural access. I live here, I serve here, and believe South Huron has the opportunity to lead in this space. With that context, I'd like to formally present my request for the proclamation of Preventative Health Awareness Month. Good evening, Mayor and members of Council. Thank you sincerely for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. My name is Stephanie Vandenbush, and I am here on behalf of the Preventative Health Awareness Month and movement known as FAM. I wanted to start by acknowledging something openly. I understand the concern about setting a precedent when it comes to a proclamation. It's a valid and responsible consideration, and I respect that deeply. But I'm here because I believe Preventative Health Awareness Month and movement is different. It's not a niche cause. It's not tied to one profession, identity, or sector. It is something that touches every single person in South Huron, every age, every stage, and every household. Preventative health includes mental health, emotional well-being, physical health, social connection, spiritual grounding, and financial stability. It supports parents, caregivers, teens, seniors, and working adults, business owners, everyone who's trying to live well, stay well, and take care of themselves and their families. This is not about celebrating one group. It's about supporting an entire community. And in rural communities like South Huron, this work matters even more. We live in a place where people are strong, hardworking, and deeply caring. But we also live in a place where many people carry their struggles quietly. Some stay silent because they don't want to burden others. Excuse me. Others stay silent because in small towns, it can feel like everyone knows everyone. Preventative health gives us a way to meet people early, gently, before challenges grow heavy. It helps people to feel seen without feeling exposed. It helps them feel supported without feeling judged. And it shows that caring for your health is not something that you have to hide. For me, this work is personal. South Huron has trusted their care for 21 years with me and counting. I've sat with people through their fears, their frustrations, and their hopes and their quiet battles. I've seen how hard our residents work. Sorry. And how many of them want the tools, knowledge, and support before things get overwhelming. Sorry. This month offers education, empowerment, and access early so people can thrive and not just cope. People are equipped to take charge of their well-being. Our whole community becomes stronger, more resilient, and connected. That reduces pressure on local services, strengthens families, and builds a healthier foundation for the future. By proclaiming February 2026 as Preventative Health Awareness Month, South Huron has the opportunity to lead with compassion and clarity, to set an example for other rural communities, to champion a movement that's inclusive, diverse, forward-thinking, and deeply rooted in care. I want to be very clear. I'm not asking council to open the door to unlimited proclamations. I'm not asking for the recognition of a single month that directly benefits. I'm asking for the recognition of a single month that directly benefits everyone you present, a month that invites people to learn, connect, and strengthen themselves in their community. A proclamation here would not weaken your standards. It would reinforce them by showing that when something truly touches all citizens, you recognize it. Thank you for considering this request. This movement is about legacy change. Something that grows long after us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephanie. It's a very good presentation and delegation. I'll just give you a moment to, for council members to think if they have any questions for Stephanie, any comments at all. Councillor McLeod Haga, please.
Through you, Mayor Finch. Thank you for your presentation, Stephanie. As someone that attends your clinic, what you do there is life-changing for some people. It's definitely made a huge impact on my life. And I know that you're not the only facility in South Huron that offers things like this. But preventative health is key, especially looking at what's to come in South Huron at the end of this month with our walk-in clinic closing, not having access to certain care that our residents in South Huron need, especially since there's a shortage of doctors. So huge kudos to you and the other agencies in South Huron on the preventative work that you guys are doing and pushing forward to enhancing and changing what healthcare really needs to look like.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other comments? Okay, not seeing any. Councillor Neeb, go ahead, please.
Just more of a question for staff about proclamations. I know we've kind of moved away from doing proclamations, but I just wondered what are the implications of a proclamation? Like what would actually be done?
So through the chair, the procedural bylaw prohibits council currently from making proclamations. So if council wanted to proceed with one, they would have to suspend the rules in order to proceed with making a proclamation.
Okay, thank you. And no decisions will be made tonight, Stephanie, just so you know. Okay, any other questions at all? Councillor Dietrich, go ahead, please.
Thank you to the chair. Thanks for your presentation. And I might be dumb, but I've never heard of this preventative spiel that you're going through. Is that through the Huron County Health Unit?
Actually, so for me, it's incredibly important to continue to grow within my profession. And one of my dear friends and mentors that I've been working with for the last 4 years, I align myself with people that are doing what I want to do. And she, about 4 years ago, closed her multidisciplinary clinic. So I have a multidisciplinary clinic myself. To do more legacy work and to find another registered massage therapist that is as passionate about prevention as me. I was like all in. So she actually wrote in back into 2023 to Health Canada, and they are recognizing, like Health Canada has recognized the month of February as Preventative Health Awareness Month. So this is actually a grassroots initiative. I'm one of the original members who I don't want to say members. So I actually she's brought a lot of healthcare professionals together to bring free education. So it's a grassroots initiative. It's not currently funded, and it's just we have over 80 professionals all over. And so the goal with this is to create micro movements within other communities so that we can all elevate each other. So it's not just about one. It's about everyone. And if we can inspire micro movements in all communities, then we just raise each other up without one person having to try to do it all.
Okay, thank you. This is kind of like an ounce of prevention prevents a pound of cure.
Pardon?
There was an old saying there one time, an ounce of prevention is good for a pound of cure.
Yeah, it is. And, 21 years of taking care of people, that's why I have counselors now. That's why I have people that help, osteopathy, massage, like all those sorts of things work really well together because one thing might not work for someone else. And, they have someone talking about addictions, right? And then another community started their own. So, so it allows us to all kind of learn from each other, bridge the gap. Hey, this is, the declaration that I completed for you guys, I made for our own rural community, guided by the one that was signed by the mayor of Niagara Falls. So it has been proclaimed in Niagara Falls. And we went to Niagara Falls last year because we were having physicians over the border wanting to join. So this year it's in Ottawa. So it's just growing. And the goal of it is to elevate everyone and to inspire everyone to do your own thing. And, my goal with this, focusing on rural communities, is to inspire our neighboring rural communities for all of us to actually work together to bring access to care, because we have things like like West Coast Active Living, things like that, that are bringing, like Marika, one of my counselors at the clinic, like they have food every, like a dinner every Tuesday, right? So anything that brings community together, if your mental health stronger, it helps your physical health too. So it's just kind of bringing awareness to all the things that are awesome that are around here in our rural communities. Yeah, you're welcome.
Great. Any other questions for Stephanie? It's a great presentation, Stephanie. Well
Okay,
done.
thank
I
you.
can tell you're very passionate about it. We
Okay.
respect that, of course, eh? And yeah,
Thank you very much.
if you just turn the mic off before you go, that'd be
Okay,
great. Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll turn to Ms. Masook Olson, please, for the recommendation.
That South Huron Council received a delegation regarding proclaiming February as Preventative Health Awareness Month, as presented by Stephanie Vandenbush.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor McLeod Haggett, second by Deputy Mayor. Any discussion? Call the question, all in favor, and that carries with 7. Thank you. We'll move on to 5.2, and we welcome Grant Clifford to the microphone, please. Welcome, Grant. Just turn the microphone on when you're ready, and you have about 10 minutes or so.
Good evening, Council, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. When we first moved to Crediton, we were really excited to tell everybody about the singular white squirrel that we found in our backyard. Little did we know, of course, of Exeter's famous white squirrels, and they let us know that there was more than one. My name is Neil Gordon Grant Clifford, and I'm here today regarding the Heritage Committee's recommendation to refuse the repeal of the heritage designation on 12 Victoria Avenue East in Crediton. I want to begin by acknowledging the importance of heritage preservation in our community. Protecting meaningful historic assets is valuable, and I respect the time and care that goes into these decisions. However, I am here because the current heritage designation has created a situation that is neither reasonable nor consistent with the intent of the Ontario Heritage Act. Despite regulations stating that insurers may not increase premiums solely based on property's heritage status, that is exactly what has happened. Multiple insurance brokers have confirmed that the designation is the reason for significantly higher premiums, and some have even declined to provide coverage options at all. This is not due to the building's condition or any genuine risk-based factor. It is strictly based on the heritage designation. This places me in the impossible position. A property owner should not be penalized for maintaining a heritage designation through inflated or inaccessible insurance. When the cost of mandatory insurance becomes artificially high because of a designation, the designation itself becomes unsustainable. My request today is not to dismiss the value of heritage, but to address the very real and concrete hardship created by this designation. It creates the protections that are supposed to be in place for owners of designated properties. I respectfully ask Council to reconsider the committee's recommendation to approve the full repeal of the heritage designation so that the property can be insured at a fair, lawful, and equitable rates. The designation in its current form is not viable, and repeal is the only practical solution. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your commitment to fairness and responsible governance.
Thank you very much, Grant. Good presentation. Any questions? Councillor Neebe, you had something? Go ahead, please.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor Finch, and thank you for the delegation, Grant. Mr. Clifford and I have been in communication for some time now, and in attempts to find more appropriate insurance for the heritage designated property in Crediton. Today, Council was provided with information about insurance from the applicant. If insurance premiums were found that were comparable to the market rate cited in your email, would you be open to exploring that insurance and potentially pulling your repeal of the heritage bylaw?
Most assuredly. Aaron, you've been spectacular help in regards to this specific problem. And realistically, this is the only reason that I am here today. I put a great deal of care and effort into the property and hope to continue to maintain it.
Any other questions? Councillor Dietrich.
Thank you to the chair. How does these buildings get on heritage list anyway in the first place?
Through the chair, so the Ontario Heritage Act provides a process for properties to be designated. This particular property was designated in 1993, but there's a whole process that gets followed. Application either submitted, whether it's from the current owner at the time, or it could be the initiative of the municipality. So there's a whole process in order to get designated. And then if there was a request for de-designation, there's a whole process that has to be followed for that as well.
This particular property, I know it's tied up with the old Stephen Township Clerk's office, I think. Is it both the house and that building class now as heritage?
Grant, did you want to speak to that? Your thoughts?
Clerk's office that's attached to it. It used to be the bed and breakfast. Are they both classified as heritage?
Most assuredly. It's not the entirety of the building. It's only certain aspects of both buildings, but they are being treated as one.
Thank you. And is it your intent not to change anything, Grant, to the building if it was delisted? Or what is that? Is it just the insurance issues you have concerns with?
No, for example, have put great time and effort into repointing the brick on the exterior. I've made some minor renovations on the interior sort of thing to make it a more viable living structure. But no, I have no intent to. I work in the construction renovation industry, and for example, when you drywall a brand new building, there's so much waste. And I have no desire to create more waste. I really enjoy rebuilding any viable structures that I deal with.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Vaughn, I'm not sure if you have a question or not. If you do, just shout it out because I can't, sometimes don't see the hand go up. So do you have any questions? No? Okay, thank you. Any other questions at this time? Nothing. Thank you very much for your delegation. Ms. Masula-Carlson.
That South Huron Council receives a delegation regarding repealing heritage designation bylaw as presented by Grant Clifford.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Neeb, seconded by Councillor Oak. Any discussion? Call the question, all in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Next item, 6 and then 7.1, please.
That South Huron Council adopts the minutes of the public and regular council meeting of December 1st, 2025, and the budget meeting of December 8th, 2025, as printed and circulated.
And a mover, please. Councillor Neeb moves, Councillor Dietrich seconds. Is there any discussion? Call the question, all in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. 8, please.
That the minutes, agendas, and correspondence of the following committees and/or boards be received as presented to council. Grand Bend Area Joint Sewage Board, minutes of October 2nd, 2025. Dashwood Community Advisory Committee, draft minutes of November 20th, 2025. Asable Bayfield Conservation Authority, draft minutes of November 20th, 2025, and agenda package of December 18th, 2025. Board resolution in response to Bill 68 and ERO number 25-1257. Upper Thames River Conservation Authority, draft minutes of November 25th, 2025, and agenda package of December 16th, 2025, 2026 Board and Committee meeting schedule, and Bill 68 and ERO posting 25-1257, proposed boundaries for the regional consolidation of Ontario's conservation authorities.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Neeb, seconded by Councillor Oak. Any discussion? Councillor Oak, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I guess there's a couple resolutions that are in these. Do we address them first, or do we vote on this first and then bring up the 2 resolutions after?
Yeah, Clerk.
So through the chair, the motion on the floor stands. But if there's a resolution the council would like to consider that's within this, that could take place after.
Okay, so we could approve that we have now if we wish, and then bring it back right afterwards. If that's, yeah, oh yeah. And Councillor Vaughn, you had your hand up as well, correct? Did you have a comment?
Yeah, yes, thank you. I did have a comment, which relates right back to what Councillor Oak had just asked. in terms of, I think we should go forward and vote on the motion as presented, but I would like to talk to the resolutions from the ABCA immediately after.
Very well, thank you. So is there any further discussion on what we have right now? It's on the table. Councillor McLeod Haggett.
Through you, Mayor Fitch, I just have one question with respect to the Dashwood Park. The one spot on page 5.1 action items, Amanda to explore options for donated benches. Is that not something that could not fall under that parkland funding that we were talking about potentially using for a dog park?
Who'd like to speak to that?
Through the mayor, Parkland, I would think that that's likely possible. We would have to look at the Parkland policy closely, but it is for items required for park.
Okay, is there no further discussion on 8.4.3? And we will have discussion right afterwards on items within this. Call the question, all in favor? And that carries with 7. And then Councillor Oak, you had a comment. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss 8.3.2. I'd like to see if we could support that resolution that they're recommending. And maybe Councillor Vaughn, if your voice holds up, to comment on behalf from ABCA's point of view on it.
Okay, Councillor Vaughn, you have a comment?
Yes, I do have a comment. Okay, so last council meeting, we actually supported the resolution from Kingsville, if you recall, which was a very brief resolution, but basically saying that we didn't wish to support the move that was being put forward by the province with such an absence of information as to how things were actually going to work. So I think that's fine. Then there are 2 resolutions contained within the ABCA package. One is the resolution that relates to what the ABCA board actually passed and sent along to the province of Ontario as part of their submission and commentary on what was being proposed. And the second resolution is basically one that ABCA has created on behalf of its member municipalities that talks in quite a bit more detail in terms of how we think things are in terms of going well and what we do support from the province. So items like in the member municipalities actually pay for 30% of the cost of local representation. And because we pay for that, we basically like to keep things local. Member municipalities also benefit from ABCA's role in pre-consultation on any kind of building permits that are on the table. And they've actually put in some measurements about how prompt they are in responding to those building permits. I think it was 9 days. And also there's a comment in the resolution that talks about us as a municipality supporting the provincial goals for efficiency and for cutting red tape. And then some further details, some of which match the Board of Directors resolution in concept, and some are a little bit newer, but all relating pretty much to we'd like to keep it local. We've created it, our constituents have paid for it over these many years, and that's basically the point we'd like to make to the province of Ontario. So my recommendation would be, of the 2 resolutions, I don't know that we need to do 3. We already supported Kingsville, and the Board of Director one has gone forward as it has from other member municipalities as well. But I think it's the second one, the draft resolution, which provides for the municipality to insert its name. And I think that's the resolution that we probably should go with. So I'd be happy to hear any thoughts from any council members.
So let's get this on the table then. Would you be willing to make that motion then, Counselor Vaughn or Counselor Oak? One of you, or, okay, Counselor Vaughn, would you like to make that motion then?
I would, and did have a
Oh.
little discussion with Rebecca and Alex, hoping Alex had some time to think about that motion.
Yep, and I'll turn it over to our clerk now. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, do you want to have it read first and then ask for a seconder? Counselor Oak will second. Okay, we'll read the motion first.
That South Huron Council endorses the Asaba Bayfields Conservation Authority's draft municipal resolution regarding response to Bill 68, proposed new Ontario Provincial Conservation Agency, and that the draft resolution be updated to name the municipality of South Huron and circulated to the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, MPP Thompson, AMO, Roma, Area Indigenous Communities, all municipalities in Ontario, Conservation Ontario, and all conservation authorities in Ontario.
So moved, Counselor Vaughn.
So moved.
Counselor Oak seconds. Thank you. Is there any further discussion on that? Not seeing any. Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Very good. Oh, Counselor Oak, go ahead.
Just wondering, 8.4.3 is Upper Thames, and I'm wondering, since we're a member of Upper Thames, should we be supporting their resolution as well? Because they do cover South Huron as well. So I'd like to make a motion that we support that resolution as well.
Very well. We'll just have Madam Clerk prepare that and we'll get back to you in a second.
That South Huron Council endorses the Upper Thames Conservation Authority's draft municipal resolution regarding response to Bill 68, proposed boundaries for the regional consolidation of Ontario's conservation authorities, and that the draft resolution be updated to name the municipality of South Huron and circulated to the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, MPP Thompson, AMO, Roma, Area Indigenous Communities, all municipalities in Ontario, Conservation Ontario, and all conservation authorities in Ontario.
So moved, Counselor Oak.
So moved.
Is there a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Neeb. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Vaughn, discussion at all?
No, I was gonna second. I'm
Very
fine.
well. Yep, very well. Is there any discussion from other members that are present? Not seeing any. Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Anything else under that? I don't believe so. So move on to 9, please.
That South Huron Council receives plan and report dated December 5th, 2025, South Huron zoning bylaw 5-year review implementation, and that staff proceed with preparing draft text and mapping updates, schedule public consultations, and circulate the amendment for public review under the Planning Act.
We have Victor here today. If we have any questions, is there a mover? Moved by Counselor Neeb. Is there a seconder? Deputy Mayor seconds. Any discussions at this point? Counselor Oak, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And that's great that we're updating that to sort of to update it to our official plan. Just during the official plan process, I believe it was Councillor Vaughn that brought up a good suggestion that we would have a working copy that would show the changes as we went through the process. So that we knew what was being changed from the original version. Is just wondering if that's something that we could request again as we go through, so we don't have to have 2 copies of each and seeing what wording's changing.
Perfect. And through the mayor, yes, that's exactly the plan. There are a number of, especially with the housekeeping items, where there's small wording tweaks happening. For staff, for council, for members of the public, I think it's helpful to have that track changes version where it's struck through or it's underlined. So that is the current draft is done that way, and I expect that'll be the way we move through the whole process.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Any other comments for Victor this time? Okay, not seeing any. Thank you very much for your help. There's no further discussion. We have a mover and a seconder. I'll call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. We go to 9.2, nothing under 9.2, 9.3, and then 9.4.1, please.
That South Huron Council receives staff report HR 06-2025, HR annual update report for information.
And a mover, please. Moved by Counselor Neeb, second by Deputy Mayor. Any discussion? Not seeing any. Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. 9.4.2.
That South Huron Council receive staff report FIN 25-2025, property tax exemptions follow-up, Drayton Entertainment correspondence for information.
And a mover, please. Moved by Counselor Need. Move. Seconded by Counselor Vaughn. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 6. Thank you. 9.4.3, please.
That South Huron Council receive staff report CL 21-2025, and that council proceed with option blank as outlined in this report.
Okay, so we have to have a discussion on this, so we'll put it on the table. Moved by Counselor Neeb, seconded by Counselor, our Deputy Mayor. Discussion. Counselor Neeb, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mayor Finch. I have something prepared, but just before I do, I just have a question for staff, and it's in regards to decisions and the Ontario Land Tribunal. So if a decision is made one way or the other, repealed or not repealed, what criteria would be used under the Ontario Land Tribunal to make a decision?
Through the chair, I do believe it's the current legislation as stands, so the current criteria listed under the Ontario Heritage Act.
Go ahead.
Thank you, through the chair. In reviewing this application to repeal the bylaw, the Heritage Committee reviewed the existing bylaw. This property was designated by Stephen Township Council in 1993. 12 Victoria Avenue East was built in 1888 by Henry Eibler, a founder of the Hay Township Mutual Fire Insurance, long-time township clerk, and later an MPP. The home is a rare example of local architecture and craftsmanship from that period. Its heritage features, including stained glass windows imported from Germany, bricks from the former Credit Brickyard, an original tin ceiling, and cut stone sills, are unique attributes that warrant preservation. This property represents architectural, historical, and contextual value, which is why it was designated in the first place. The Heritage Committee affirms that this building remains an important heritage asset within the municipality of South Huron. It continues to possess significant architectural and historical value, representing a tangible link to Crediton's development and the craftsmanship and community identity that shaped its early history. The structure contributes meaningfully to the cultural landscape and maintains its integrity as part of South Huron's broader built heritage fabric. When reviewing the application, the applicant noted that insurance is an issue. The committee acknowledges that the repeal application references concerns related to property insurance and premiums. Following consultation and research into comparable situations across Ontario, it is noted that on the Government Ontario website that insurance premiums should not go up because of heritage designation. The committee remains committed to working collaboratively with the property owner to explore potential insurance options and to provide access to resources that specialize in heritage properties. When making a decision, Council must also be aware the decision to repeal or not repeal carries legal implications at the Ontario Land Tribunal. Between 2018 and 2025, the municipality of South Huron has spent $42,000 total on appeals. While some of these appeals were caused due to council decisions, some were out of council's control. When the OLT is making its decision, it makes its decision based on case law and the Heritage Act. Political decisions, beliefs about the necessity and importance of heritage designation or insurance do not factor into the decision-making process of repealing a heritage designation bylaw at the Ontario Land Tribunal. In fact, in reviewing case law, there is already precedent set. In Conservation Review Board Hearing 0906, CRB 0906 in 2010, the town of Parry Sound consented to a request to repeal the heritage designation bylaw for 41 Church Street, Parry Sound, Ontario. The property owners cited difficulty in obtaining insurance as the motivating factor for requesting repeal of the designation bylaw. The decision to repeal the heritage designation bylaw was appealed by a community member to the Conservation Review Board. Evidence presented in CRB 0906 demonstrated that the town of Parry Sound erroneously applied a volunteer attitude for designation. Council of the town of Parry Sound felt that the ability to obtain property insurance is critical to security of accommodation. It is considered a sufficient reason to remove the designation. This is in quotations. This is part of their case. In a previous case heard at the Superior Court of Justice, Tremblay versus Lakeshore in 2003, any municipal policy which requires an owner's permission to designate is in violation of the Ontario Heritage Act. The Conservation Review Board ruled that the town of Parry Sound failed to present any reasoned arguments for repealing the designation bylaw beyond its practice of volunteer designation. Furthermore, in CRB 1713 in 2018, under the OHA, the review board is not tasked with weighing all other non-heritage related matters in arriving at its recommendation. For example, the property resale value issue in that case raised in this proceeding does not relate to the heritage merits and is thus beyond the scope of the review board's considerations. In making its decision, council should review this application, make a decision based on the heritage attributes of the property. If there are costly appeals, they will be based on the heritage attributes and criteria in the bylaw and in the act. Insurance would not be a justification for removing the designation. Earlier in the meeting, I asked the applicant if they'd be interested in pursuing other insurance options. We have a timeline of 90 days. We do not have to make a decision this evening. It's my hope that the committee can continue to work with the applicant to find appropriate insurance so that we don't have to repeal the bylaw. And then it would eventually come back to council if we were unsuccessful in that matter. So I urge council to defer this application and that the Heritage Committee continue working with the applicant to find appropriate insurance rates or an amendment to the bylaw.
So you want to make a motion to defer at this point then?
Yes.
Okay, and process, Madam Clerk?
Through the chair, so through the legislation, 90 days from the date of the expiry of the objection period is when council would need to make, pass a bylaw to repeal if that was what they were planning to do. If council wishes to defer, this report could be brought back at the first meeting in February. That would provide time should council choose to proceed with the bylaw to repeal would be brought back to the second meeting in February, and that would meet the timeline because the deadline to make a decision would be around February 26th. We would need a seconder and no further discussion.
So move to defer, Councillor Neeb.
So moved.
Is there a seconder to defer? Councillor Vaughn seconds. Discussion. Councillor Vaughn, do you have a discussion on that as well? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Had to get the right button. Yes, well, a couple of things. First of all, on process, I honestly thought that once somebody put a defer motion on the table, we didn't have further discussion.
No, I didn't know if you had something extra to that. As far as a debate on it, no, we're not going to debate it.
Right.
But I just want to be courteous to make sure that you had something that I didn't want to lose on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frankly, I'm just going to say that if the committee is willing to work to help get these insurance costs down, and that's the only thing that Grant Clifford is objecting to at this point, I think that's a smart way to go. I just want to put that on the table.
Okay, so we have a motion to defer and a seconder. There's no debating on a defer. We have some discussion to that level, of course. There's no further discussion. I'll call the question. Councillor Dietrich, we're not debating it, but did you have a concern?
Thank you, the chair. I'd just like to make a comment here. I notice it's colored stained glass, and I think there's a tin ceiling. That's probably in the old clerk's office. Is there any government assistance?
So that'll be part of the debate. So I would suggest we're just talking about deferring it right now. So let's just work on that. So the defer, we've had a mover and a seconder to defer it. I'll call the question. All in favor to defer? 1, 2, 3, 4. And opposed to defer? Okay, so that carries to defer it to the February meeting. And the date, would that be which date?
So the staff, through the chair, the staff report would be brought back February 2nd, 2026 for council consideration. And then depending on council's decision at that time, the bylaw would be brought back at the next meeting if deemed necessary.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to 9.4.4 then, please.
The South Huron Council received staff report CL 22-2025, annual accessibility update for information.
And a mover, please. Someone moves, moved by Councillor Neeb, second by Councillor Oak. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Are there any notice of motions, Madam Clerk?
There are none.
And 11.1, one is CEM Engineering Goshen Line Project. Any discussion from that? Or here in Health Systems, strengthening physician recruitment. Any discussion under that? Okay, not seeing any. Move on to 12, new business. Is there any new business
Yeah.
at this time? Councillor Oak, go ahead, please. And we're moving
Yeah,
to 12.1 afterwards.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I think all council was made aware of the closure of the walk-in clinic effective at the end of the month here. And I'm just wondering if that's something that council might want to have the mayor's task force explore further if there's any the background to it and seeing if there's to discuss it further, investigate on behalf of South Huron.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a great idea. Any other comments from members of council in regards to that? Would you like to make a motion? Is that what we need, Madam Clerk, or what would you like?
Sorry, through the chair. So as this is brought up under new business, the process would be that would be brought back to the January 12th meeting for council discussion and direction at that time. If there's an urgency to it, council could suspend the rules and then make a referral to the task force.
Yep. Okay, so we've been through that before. As far as suspending the rules, is there an interest in suspending the rules? You need 5 people to vote in favor of that at this point. Councillor Oak, go ahead.
I'd make that motion to do that.
And I'll turn to Madam Clerk to prepare that.
So the motion would be to suspend the rules of procedural bylaw for items regarding new business without prior notice. And it does require 2/3 of council to proceed.
Okay, so moved, Councillor Oak. Is there a seconder to do that? Councillor McLeod Haggett seconds. Okay. Any discussion on that? Call the question. All in favor to and that carries with 7. Now it carries with 7. Thank you. Okay, very good. Now we'll go to Councillor Oak. Go ahead. You had nothing further on that? Okay. Madam Clerk, anything further on that?
So through the chair, so council is wishing to refer that correspondence or to investigate further. Okay, I'm just going to draft a resolution. Perhaps the CEO has something to add.
Oh, yeah.
Through the mayor, possibly, how about the council refer the walk-in or the walk-in clinic closures discussion to the mayor's task force to discuss further, investigate, and bring back an update to council.
Is that so moved, Council?
So moved.
Okay, and the flexibility is within the mayor's task force as those members. Do we need anything like that in that resolution? So they're not restrictive? No, okay. Very good. I'll let the clerk prepare that.
That they're in council refer the walk-in clinic closures discussion to the mayor's task force on regional health to discuss further, investigate, and bring back an update to council.
So move, Councillor Oak.
So moved.
Seconded by Councillor McLeod Haggett. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Councillor McLeod Haggett? Yep, she did. Yep. No, don't think so. Okay, very good. 12.1, please. Special joint meeting.
The South Huron Council set a special joint meeting with Perth South on January 26, 2026 at 6 p.m.
And a mover for that, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Neeb. Any discussion? Councillor Neeb goes and then Councillor Oak.
What's the occasion?
Ms. Basula Carlson.
Through the mayor, this was requested by the municipality of Perth South. The last joint meeting we had was a few years ago, and I think we hosted it. So it was their turn to set up this meeting. And as far as at this point, it is a bit of a governance discussion.
Councillor Oak, you had a comment?
Yeah, just wanted to know location. And if it's at the Kirkton facility, make sure that it's not booked that night. Because we ran into that issue that the one year that we had it, that somebody else had already booked it and nobody had checked. So I just want to make sure.
I'll pass that along. But yes, it is at the complex.
Very good. So we have a mover and a second for that. If there's Deputy, you had something?
Yes, thank you. I think this should happen every year, once a year. So because we are committed to different places and the pool and all that, I really think this should happen yearly. So just a thought.
Yeah, thank you. And it'll be the next council that'll be working on that. Any other comments at all? Okay, not seeing any. We have a mover and a seconder. If there's no further discussion, call the question all in favor. And that carries with 7. Thank you. Mayor and councillor comments and announcements. Are there any comments or announcements at this time? Oh, Councillor Neeb, go ahead, sir.
Sorry, thank you, Mayor Finch. It's been an incredibly busy 2025 for council staff and the municipality. I wanted to do a little bit of a year in review from maybe just from my perspective, but I think we've made some significant strides in modernizing our infrastructure, most notably with the London Road South Trunk Sanitary Sewer Project and the design work for the Thames Road West Force Main. I think these are investments that are essential for our community's growth. We also prioritized our emergency readiness by securing a new generator for the Exeter Fire Station, and we're moving forward with the replacement of the Dashwood Fire Station. We made improvements to the South Huron Rec Center, new parks in both Exeter and Dashwood, and community safety measures with speed reductions and crossovers. So behind every motion passed and every tender awarded, we did this with fiscal responsibility, and we thought about the community, and we also had a lot of staff dedication to make this possible. I wanted to specifically recognize our staff for their incredible work in securing provincial grants, such as the Housing Enabling Water System Fund and the Trillium Fund, and also applying for all the number of grants, which has saved our taxpayers millions, while allowing us to pursue our goals for growth and community well-being. We also took some time to honor local history and our champions, from recognizing the Youth Blue Water Tug of War team and celebrating hometown heroes like Bonnie Sittard. So to Mayor Finch and the entire council and every single member of our municipal staff and those in the gallery, thank you for your dedication to making South Huron a better place to live. Merry Christmas to all of you, and I wish you a happy, safe, and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, Councillor Neeb. You took the words right out of my mouth. Anyways, that's great. And yeah, we have very fortunate to have the staff we have and the community we have around us. We're just so fortunate with our staff that do the work and the heavy work for everyone to make us successful for sure. But then there's a partnership between the public and our staff and council for sure. So yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone as well. Is there any other comments from members of council? Councillor McLeod-Haga, please.
Through you, Mayor Finch, thank you. I just want to report back on the Angel Project that happens at Noah's Ark every year. Last Saturday, or this past Saturday, I guess, they did their annual Kid Shopping Day, and they had a record number of 249 kids come and shop for their parents. So I just want to thank you to the community for all of the generous donations that came in for us to have that event be successful. Again, this is our 3rd year of doing it, and each year it just gets better and better. And then this Thursday through Noah's Ark is our actual Angel Project Day, where we will be handing out gifts and Christmas hampers to our anyone in South Huron that is in need. And we're looking at probably well over 300 families that we're going to be servicing. So the need is definitely in the community. So again, shout out to everybody in South Huron that has generously donated toys, clothing, food, cash donations. Andrea truly cannot thank the community enough for what they're allowing us to do on this coming Thursday. So thank you.
Great. And Deputy Mayor, you had something.
Thank you. We as council sit up here and our staff is excellent. Any questions I've ever had, they answer. If without hesitation. I think we need to thank our volunteers. They're very important to this community and also our residents. So thanks again.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, not seeing any. We'll move on to communications then. And if you want something pulled, please advise. Ms. Masood Carlson.
14.1, 14.2, 14.3,
Pull.
14.4, 14.5,
Pull.
14.6,
Pull that one, please.
14.7, that's point 1 and point 2.
Pull.
14.8, that's point 1 and point 2. 14.9, 14.10, 14.11, 14.12, 14.13, 14.14, 14.15, 14.16, 14.17, and 14.18, that's point 1 to point 6.
Very good. So we will go to 14.3. Ms. Councilor McLeod Haggett, please.
Thank you, Mayor Finch. I'm just looking at Amanda, maybe to just respond to Ms. Cole's correspondence, as I know there's been quite a bit of stuff on social media. So just hoping that maybe we can put a little bit of light on what is out there and clear some things up so that the residents of South Huron and the individuals using the 2 rec centers know what is in place.
Welcome, Amanda. Go ahead.
So through the mayor, yes, so I did read Ms. Cole's letter, so I can answer some of those questions. But to give a bit of an update, just knock off a couple of questions there. So in regards to the last report, so we finished stage 1, we call it stage 1 and stage 2 updates. Stage 1 was, as per the engineer, requested to do fairly quickly, which we did get done. Stage 2 was trying to find that digital monitoring system to measure the snow depth and the snow load. So according to the reports, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I have it correct. The engineers recommended a maximum depth of 26 inches of snow. Ideally, we are getting, and we have looked at some digital monitoring systems. Now, the lead time on that, once we had a suggestion from the engineer, was a couple weeks out. So we will be putting up the interim measures, the sticks that will go up. I talked to the contractor today. He says Wednesday. Staff up to this point have been informed and asked to monitor the roof to make sure it's not over that depth. Obviously, it's hard to do if there's no measuring sticks to go against. So that will be up this week. It is a very cautious approach, but obviously our first priority is safety. So in regards to Ms. Cole's kind of questions, if it does reach that maximum depth of 26 inches, yes, we would close the arena at that time because safety is our priority. If we do close, people do get refunds, so we're not taking the contract, taking the booking, and keeping the money. So those would be canceled. We have shut down the arena in the past due to weather, and we have refunded before. As of this morning, we did measure the snow depth. It is 10 inches up there, and that's right on the ledge. The contractor I was with was able to go a little bit higher, and it it was less, and he measured it at 7 inches. So it's thinner at the top of the roof, and then as it comes down, it's a little heavier. So that is where we're at in regards to removing the snow. So our staff don't technically go on top of the arena section. There's no tie-off system up there, so I had reached out to a contractor to ask if we need the snow removed, how would we go about doing this? He would not have staff up on the roof either, just because there's no tie-off system up there. So what they would do is use snow rakes to pull it off if need be. So we do have a company we would call to help us with that. They do have some priorities to get to if we all get kind of pounded with snow at the same time, but they would fit us into their schedule to remove it. So I'm just going over her other questions here. In regards to a recreational master plan, so that is forecasted. I believe it's 2028, if I recall off the top of my head. Typically, the recreation master plans do address aging infrastructure in those plans. We haven't scoped that out with all the details, but that can definitely be a highlight if council chooses to move forward with that project. So.
Thank you very much. Very comprehensive report. Thanks very much, Amanda, for that. Okay, nothing further. Moving right along, 14.5, Councillor Neeb, go ahead, please.
Yep, thank you, Mayor Finch. There's correspondence here about the Spring Dream lottery license, and they're looking to get a letter from council stating no objection for the dream home that will be built at 29 Deering Drive. So I'd be willing to make that motion to create that letter of objection, or no objection, sorry.
Very well. I'll turn to Madam Clerk to prepare that.
That South Huron Council has no objections to the request from Ascend Fundraising Solutions for a 2026 Dream Home Lottery at 29 Deering Drive, Grand Bend, to be held in support of London's hospital.
So moved, Councillor Neeb.
So moved.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Oak seconds. There's any discussion? I'll call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. 14.6. So I'm asking for that to be pulled. Of course, we know Marion Poff is looking for support for her polar dip. So inviting everyone. I see Councillor Dietrich is smiling, so I'm assuming he's going to show up on January 1st at 1 o'clock. Is that a yes? You need to put your mic on so we have this on record, please.
Thank you to the mayor. I just seen your name on here. I didn't see my name.
I think they're inviting everybody, so I'm assuming you're going to go. You want to support the Stephen Township people, I'm sure, and that's a great opportunity to do so because she's a Stephen Township resident. So I look forward to seeing you there, and all members of council, of course. I think our CEO and our clerk are going to attend. Am I correct on that? Okay. Staff may be attending. I know Chief Becker was going to be attending. Chief, no comment at this time? We talked about this. Oh, you're with Milt. Okay, very good. Anyways, those that can make it, that would be great. Show support for young Marin. She did it last year. Oh, Councillor Vaughn, go ahead, please.
Yes, I just had one little comment. I don't know how many of you have actually been out by the lake in the last week or so, but I don't know that the weather is going to be helpful to that polar bear dip. We have snow mountains that reach out into the lake quite a distance right now. So from a safety perspective, if those are still here on New Year's Day, we might be thinking about dipping somewhere else.
Well, one can only hope that they're gone, right? So we'll see what happens, right? Mother Nature's in charge of this, but I give credit to Marin for her dedication and commitment. So if it's safe to do so, I'll be joining her for sure. Yeah. And I hope somebody else will be here as well. Anyways, moving on, 14.7, Councillor Neeb, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mayor Finch. So in this correspondence, there's community members committing money towards a dog park in Exeter. So I think this is fantastic news that there's members of the community that are willing to contribute $7,000 towards a dog park so far. During discussion of the dog park at our previous meeting, there was commentary about the importance of having financial contribution towards recreation projects from the public, since we now have almost a quarter of the cost covered. I was wondering if there are members of council who'd wish to put forward a motion to reconsider adding the dog park into the 2026 budget, especially since the rest of the cost would not come from the tax levy, but the parkland reserve.
Any discussion on that? Those that were in the discussion the last time? for reconsideration? Not seeing it this time. Very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Neeb. Moving right along, I think that was all those pulled. Yes, go ahead. Ms. Sue Carlson for the recommendation.
That South Huron Council receive communication items otherwise not dealt with.
And a mover, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Neeb. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. No closed session, no report from closed session. We go to the bylaw 17.1, please.
That South Huron Council gives first, second, third, and final reading to bylaw 75, 2025, being a bylaw imposing special annual drain rates upon land in respect of which money is borrowed under the Tile Drainage Act.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Neeb, second by Councillor Dietrich. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? That carries with 7. 17.2.
That South Huron Council gives first, second, third, and final reading to bylaw 76, 2025, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 69, 2018 of the municipality of South Huron.
And a mover, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Neeb. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. 17.3.
That South Huron Council gives first, second, third, and final reading to bylaw 77, 2025, being a bylaw to establish, ratify, and impose fees and charges for goods and services provided by the municipality of South Huron.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Neeb, seconded by Councillor McLeod Haggett. Any discussion? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Right,
Through
sorry.
the chair, just to provide council with an update, it's come to our attention that there were a couple errors in the rates on a couple of the items and the schedules that were attached. So just to clarify that, we have updated the schedules, which will be attached to the bylaw once council, should council approve. But the corrections were made to Schedule G, community service fees. This was regarding swimming lessons for private lessons, children under 14 for the 2 and 3 children. The draft and schedule that's provided included the draft were the existing rates and not the proposed rates for 2026. So the 2 children was 150. It would be corrected at 170. And then for 3 children, it was drafted as 200, which is the current rate, and that would be up to 225 for 2026. And then on Schedule H, facility services fees, the ICE fees were calculated using the September 1, 2024 through August 30th, 2025 rate, rather than September 1, 2025 to August 30th, 2026. So ICE rental for youth, the draft there included 146.50, and the effective fee as of September 1, 2026 through August 30th, 2027 would be 163. For ICE rental prime, the draft included 151, and the effective fee would be 181.50. And for ICE rental non-prime, the draft included 102, and the corrected fee is 118.50.
Thank you for that. Any further discussion? Not seeing. We have a mover and a seconder. We'll call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. Next item, please.
That South Huron Council gives first, second, third, and final reading to bylaw 78, 2025, being a bylaw to confirm matters addressed at the December 8th, 2025 budget meeting and the December 15th, 2025 council meeting.
And a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Neeb, seconded by Councillor Dietrich. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you. And 19, please.
That South Huron Council hereby adjourn at 7:08 p.m. to meet again on January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. or at the call of the chair.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Neeb. No discussion. Merry Christmas, everyone. And call the question. All in favor? And that carries with 7. Thank you.